Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the GonzoEwok channel with me, Ewok.
You took us by surprise there. I'm Gonzo.
This is
Geordie Space Program.
Right,
we need to...
Bear with us a moment. We're going to have to pause. We've got to do something for the setup.
What's that?
And the ship fails.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We'll be right back.
See you in a minute.
And we're back. And the reason that we had to zoom away there is because I took the saved game home to create a couple of ships for this mission.
Yes, if people remember the last episode, we mentioned that we're recording a bunch all together. All being well, I've went on my holidays by now. I'm not even there when this goes live. I'm sunning myself on the south coast.
But yeah, I forgot to transfer the saved game files from the copied save that I took to my house to sorry about the hairbrush there banging. Also sorry about this.
I'll just explain.
And I moved them onto the saved game on.
Yeah, so we've swapped across a couple of files for things that we're going to be using in subsequent episodes.
We also had a couple of beers, so this is going to go well.
Exactly, I was going to explain. My wife came home after we recorded last episode. We're planning to do a bunch of recordings. She needed to get ready, so we had to vacate where we record. And we sat and we drank and watched a bit of YouTube. And now we are several cans down. And it's still fairly early days. It's not great.
The plan for this episode was to drop a satellite. We took a satellite mission, satellite in equatorial orbit of Minmus with 101,000.
At least try and sound interested.
With 101,000, and that would give us a future return because if we ever got any missions that wanted science data from Minmus,
we'd have the infrastructure in place to do that and bring it back. However, we need cash. We said at the end of last episode, we need cash because we need bigger science facilities.
People at home will be able to see me flicking between these two. There's two missions involving Minmus. Plant flag on Minmus.
That's right.
Science data from surface of Minmus. And between the two of them, they're worth just shy of 300 grand. In fact, more than 300 grand if you take into account the advance that we get.
Yeah.
We've got a ship that I believe is ready to do a mission to land on either the Moon or Minmus.
Yep, if we get these done, this gives us our next level of science, and it still gives us a bit of cash where we can build shit and fly it.
So I think you know where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so
to Minmus.
When we said, we'll take this contract about satellites, we're through you. Not intentionally, obviously, but we've got to pretend that we're doing because
and not
it's
like
all
into
bluff.
a wall or anything like that.
So,
what did I call the ship?
It'll be one of those ones with the green rocket.
Not cheap satellite. That's what
probably one called Munlander.
It'll probably be the Munlander. So that's worth 101,000.
Now I haven't seen these before, so let's give us a look. Ooh! It's a good fairing. Huge bell end on the top.
That's a lovely fairing. Well, it has to have a huge bell end on the top to fit in those monopropellant tanks.
Aye, I see it.
That's... You know what that is, don't you?
Looks like a landing can.
And there's one underneath it. But why would I have two landing cans?
I know why you...
All will be explained later on, ladies and gentlemen. Crew. We need a new crew member.
Yeah, Merg's in space. Jeb's just getting back.
We need a scientist, but it can't be Bob.
No.
It can't be Bob. All for reasons that will become apparent later on.
People have probably already worked it out, but our alcohol-dulled minds are kind of thinking we're one step ahead.
Corvo?
Yeah, he sounds like Corvo from Dishonored, so he's not wearing a mask, but I'm sure he'll be alright. Do we not need a new pilot, maybe? You sending Jeb?
Yeah, why not?
He's just getting back, and I've never seen this in operation, so I can't help but worry.
Let's weigh up the pros and cons. Okay. Pros, I've tested this craft out.
You tested the last one that went horribly tits up as well a couple of episodes back.
I've tested this craft out. It is more than capable of doing what we needed to do, going to Minmus, making a landing.
Right.
Cons, I'm a little bit drunk.
Let's do it, because I'm drunk too.
Jebby baby, Jebby boy, you're going.
Jebby boy.
Jebby boy.
Jebby boy.
Jebby boy and Corbo.
Right.
Lovely.
Let's get them going.
I'm a little bit worried now. I'm going to have another sip of beer.
Right, yes. If you're drunk and you're worried about your state of alcohol inebriation, certainly having a drink is the way to do it. This is going to make for a terrible recording.
It's going to be fine. That's all I'll say. That's really loud, isn't it? Can you turn that down a bit, please, buddy?
There we go. That should be alright. Hopefully that's not deafening you at all.
I would think so. People at home probably couldn't even hear the initial launch. It just sounds to me loud to me.
Yeah. I want least distractions on you as possible because
It's probably for the best.
yeah. Okay then. So I like the look of this thing. It moves at a decent speed.
That's a very similar initial launch design to the rescue craft that we used.
I am liking it.
Except I think it's got a little bit more fuel on it to compensate for the extra weight.
Right.
Isn't it good when you say I think when you're talking about your rocket designs that you made like 2 days ago?
Yeah. But
look at all the things the Jeb can point towards: the radials, normal, anti-normal.
That's handy, I suppose, if you ever have concern to click.
Well, Jeb's a level 2 pilot now.
Yeah. What's the other bits that he can get? Is that like for docking?
That is for your manoeuvre node.
Right.
And those are pro and anti-target for. Well, yeah, you could use them for docking.
Aye.
But yeah, certainly for intercepts. Yeah, really good. So, you know, Jeb's well on his way there to being a real leader in the field of
Kerbal.
flying shit.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
I feel like I'm perhaps not at my most
Sober.
What's that word that means like when you can explain shit good and stuff?
Articulate.
That's the one.
Aye.
Articulate.
Alright.
That's a very ironic word to
Yeah,
forget, isn't
you
it?
certainly don't want to flub the word articulate. Alright, so we are now 12,000. They're separated and you weren't facing prograde. That was a bit dangerous. But
it's fine.
we came through that. We haven't lost any fins there, have we?
No, we've got
No, that's alright.
4 on them and 1 each on the outside.
Cool.
It's all good, my man. I know what I'm doing, kind of. I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's whether or not you can actually make that happen when we're doing a live recording. That's my concern.
Piece of cake. Well, look, we're at 50. Oh my God, we're at 16,000 meters already. Look, I'm doing it no hands as well. People can't see that. Ooh, no hands.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I can see you doing that.
Put my
It
hands
makes me
back on the
very
keyboard
fucking
in
concerned.
case anything happens.
Right. I think probably we were planning to record a bunch. We're probably going to do a couple the night and then probably call it a day because I shudder to think what would happen if we drank anymore and still try to record.
Yeah, I think this might be the last one today.
Yeah.
We shall reconvene on Sunday.
We've got a barbecue tomorrow. We're having a beach barbecue, a GonzoEwok beach barbecue. So our nearest and dearest. That'll be fun.
It will be fun. I haven't had a beach barbecue in many years.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, like all the group got together and we went down to Riverside Park and we threw frisbees around.
It was good. We kicked a football, got a bit muddy.
That was probably the last time I kicked a football. How long ago was that? Probably about 5-6 years ago.
About 8 years. It was many years before I got together with my wife.
It can't be 8 years ago because I was together with
your missus.
With my missus.
Aye.
And she was there.
It must have been quite some time ago. It was before I got together with my my wife.
Oh well, it must have been
we've
right in the
together
middle.
6 years, so it's at least 6 years. Probably.
It must have been right in the middle because I think you two got together not too long after.
No,
after me and my missus got together.
This is going to be riveting fucking conversation for our viewers. Yes, 8 years ago, this is what happened.
8 years ago, we went to
two people you've never met two other people you've never met. But
and they formed a long and deep bond.
Yeah. But ultimately, some people on some of our old timers on GonzoEwok here will have heard your missus.
Yeah,
Because she's came in and had some chatter in the background and insulted her and called her an old married couple.
called us an old married couple.
Yeah.
Well, really, I mean, we do have a deep bond that transcends the barriers of time and clothing.
I like to think of our friendship in terms of life sentences, and we've already served nearly 2.5. That's pretty good going.
And there's been enough bumming in there.
To serve many life sentences. Right.
Just like prison.
Alright.
Okay. Well, we're getting there.
Aye, we certainly are.
Yep, orbit is progressing nicely. Lots of fuel in the bank. I've come up quite well, considering.
Yeah, not bad.
We've got a nice shallow angle, which means it's stretching out. That axis is pushing away. By the time it gets to sort of about 75, we'll be ready to pull that in.
Loads of fuel.
Loads of fuel, wads of fuel.
That should get with the orbit.
I don't want you to panic about the fuel situation because it will look grim. But bear in mind, when you see this tank draining, that we've got these tanks on the outside as well. So when that tank, I'm talking about like when that tank's like on half fuel, when it's on a quarter fuel, and you start thinking, shit, have we got enough to get home? A quarter fuel is still quite a lot of fuel for that stage.
It's all right. I'm on beer, I don't know, 4 or 5 possibly. You know, in quite a quick succession of time, really. So. To be honest, I'm all right. I'm usually quite an affable drunk, so we should be okay. I'm not a violent drunk, so do the next bit. That's circularise with orbit.
I'm doing the next. I was pressing the wrong button there. Hang on, I'm pressing the right button now, and nothing's happening. Go.
Oh, there's no RCS on this.
There is RCS on it. I haven't got it turned on.
Ah.
I want the RCS to be saved for the landing. Although to be fair, we've got enough of it.
Yeah. Alright, so...
Where's the science on this? Where is the science on this?
Is it in the fairings? There is science on this thing, right?
I would hope so.
I can't see any there.
Oh, well, never mind.
What do you mean, never mind?
We don't need science. We've maxed out the tech tree as far as we can go at the moment.
But science now is science for tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, it's probably under there, mate.
I don't like in rocket science the term it's probably under there.
It's probably under there.
These are the things we should check before we fire the things, even if we have had, some drinks.
I'm pretty sure that I've left the science under the
I really hope so. Why did you get the little ridge at the top?
Because there's monopropellant canisters that are poking out.
Our rocket has a meatus.
There's monocrop there, you see?
A glance.
Monocrop, so I had to poke it out a little bit.
Nobody has ever described the tip of a rocket as a glans. Pretty sure of that.
It does look...
Vans deferens. It's probably the most...
I wonder what Freud would say about my rocket designing.
Yeah.
I mean, it could only be worse if I put 2 massive balls on the end of it.
It's kind of got 4 if you think about the landing stage there at the top.
Well, 4's better than 2, surely.
Not when you're talking about human balls.
Well, it depends. If you're talking about orgies, it's probably acceptable. If you're talking about one human man, then you've probably got a bit of a problem.
Yeah. But
or would he be a human man? Would he be something else?
He'd be 2 human men.
Would he be Homo quad testicalis?
It's Homo erectus squared.
Right, we're going to have to do an inclination adjustment to get this. I bet we get the best feedback ever on this particular episode.
I doubt it. Somewhat doubt it.
This was what it was all meant to be about. 2 drunk Geordies trying to play.
The plan was, when we originally envisioned this series, we were going to do every episode hammered. Never mind, we'll do it over a couple of beers. We were going to get hammered and then try and do it. But it's probably good that we didn't, because we'd still be on the launch pad, frankly.
Because we've got jobs and lives, and we quite often record on a weeknight.
But you forget, we record on a weeknight in the northeast. 4 pints on a school night.
I start work at 6. I don't start work at 6 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock. I start work at 7.
You know what? There's some YouTubers and Twitch streamers that I watch that do what they call fucked up Friday, and I've always went, oh, it's a bit of a cheap shot. Oh yes, I see. Oh, record party, lager, tits, and we're doing that without the tits.
It just kind of naturally happened. We went downstairs, we watched some YouTube videos, we had a couple of beers, and here we go.
Yeah.
Walk the next maneuver. So yes, I'm just correcting the inclination here so that we're on the same plane as... Oh, look, Merg, I forgot about Merg. So we're on the same plane as Minmus.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
Then we'll go out, we'll get our intercept, we'll land, we'll grab some science, and we'll do the secret thing that we haven't talked about what we're going to do yet.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and everyone will be happy.
I really hope that is the way that things play out. It's so rarely the way that things play out in Geordie Space Program.
So yeah, it's only a 16-second burn to correct that inclination, so... what's half of 16? 8! There we go.
Jesus H. Christ.
Don't worry, man. It's all good. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I bet Neil Armstrong was pissed when he did the thing. Was he the pilot as well as the first man who stood on the moon?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think they can multitask.
Right, so like NASA don't follow the sort of Geordie Space Program, Kerbal Space Program principle of definitive roles.
Yeah, you're the pilot, you're the
pilot,
engineer.
You're the engineer.
I'm sure people have specialisms, but I'm pretty sure it's like, if Neil Armstrong has a heart attack, you need to be able to fly.
That would be a bit of a bitch, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's probably something you've got to
have
work
a
out.
heart attack in the middle of a mission to go to the
I mean, if you think of aviation, you've usually got a co-pilot just in case the actual pilot carks it or has a bit of a funny turn. You've got somebody else there. That was a very efficient way of finding Minmus.
Yeah, man, I know what I'm doing.
That's pretty good. It's doing alright. It's a bit of a burn. Not ridiculous, though.
46 seconds burn. Mate, we're still on our first stage.
Yeah.
First stage is the orbit stage.
But the next one is kind of the landing and return stage, isn't it?
It's the transfer land and return stage. I don't do shit in halves, mate.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
You've got to remind me of something.
Lock the stages.
That's right, but not now. We have to wait till I've done the next
Don't
stage.
lock the stages.
Don't lock the stages. Don't cross the streams.
Actually, speaking of which, I've seen the some footage of the Ghostbusters reboot with the ladies.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I'm reluctant on any sort of reboot, particularly one that changes the formula
Yeah.
with such regard. And it's not about the fact that they've got the ladies in. It's just the whole thing.
What was wrong with the original Ghostbusters to need to do anything else?
I mean, Ghostbusters 2. Don't get me started on Ghostbusters 2. That was appalling.
See, I quite like Ghostbusters too.
What, with Vigo the Carpathian?
Oh yes,
I thought it was dire.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people don't like the second one. I actually quite do. I appreciate it's not a good film, but I do still quite like it.
Do you know what? I never appreciated at the time, but I do appreciate now having. I think it was Cinema Sins or Screen Junkies or something like that did a video about it, about the racism of Ghostbusters.
Right.
And how little Winston's actually in it, and how often he actually gets cut off the side of the screen, and you've just got the three white guys in the middle of the screen. I've never really noticed
Think
that.
of the video games. He doesn't appear in any of like the originals. He doesn't appear in like the NES version. He doesn't appear in the Master System version.
Don't you talk about the originals and say NES and Master System. I played that bitch on the Commodore 64.
It was the same game, and he wasn't in that either. 16-bit. If you jump forward, there was quite a good little Ghostbusters game on the Mega Drive. That was quite good fun. I remember renting that from like a video store back in the day. Really, really enjoyed it. Eventually picked up a copy. He wasn't in that. You could only play as like Ray or Egon or Peter.
Well, there was no named characters in the Commodore 64 version.
No.
They were just random Ghostbusters.
Two white guys.
To be
and then
fair,
three white guys in the zoo.
Yeah, they were all white, but you know they would have had to add a whole new colour to the pixels in order to match that.
But that's quite offensive in its own right.
Well, it's quite an offensive what I said in that I implied that there's only one more colour there. There's lots of shades.
Yes, there is. It's all life's rich tapestry. Where the hell we're going with this? Let's get back to what's going on the screen here.
Well, before we get too political and shit. So we're on that second stage. So yeah, I fired off the art stage.
So
what now, Gonzo?
Transfer.
What now, Gonzo?
No, we're not putting the laser.
Lock the stages.
Oh
my god! You had one job.
You shouldn't tap. I've warned you about this. Don't tap on the desk. The microphone picks it up. It's like a hair trigger. It's ridiculous. Get off it. Kirby will be doing his nut. Hopefully he's watching this after the pub. Otherwise he's going to be like, what the fuck are they talking about? This episode we're going to have to put up a disclaimer and say only watch this post-pub. Or just get hammered in your house by yourself and then watch it. Don't watch it
Why
sober.
not? That's the GonzoEwok way.
Yeah. But, yes. It makes much more sense. What
was that just happened there?
The moon.
No, we're still fine. We've got a Minmus encounter. It's a little bit further out than planned. What's going on there? We've got a Mun encounter.
We whip around, and then we'll come back around, and then we'll see the moon.
I'm a little worried about that, because there's no apoapsis, periapsis, anything.
We whip around Minmus, come back around Kerbal, and then smack into the moon.
But we're not going around that way. We're going around this way, so the Mun...
Yeah, but the blue line, you see? Yeah, that's saying what'll happen next.
I get you. I get you. Well, let's walk forward. We'll get a little shot of Kerbal as it disappears away.
Just keep an eye on the moon. I don't trust it.
How's the power looking? The electric charge is 500. There's a tiny design flaw with this, in that the solar panels are underneath the...
It doesn't seem to be draining, but then we've got everything turned off.
Yeah, that's because nothing's happening. But I've only just turned stability off, but because it was stable, there was no power going into stability.
I get you.
The engine generates power, fortunately. So there's no worries there. You made a really weird noise with your face there.
I did. I just scrunched my face up momentarily. Do you not do that sometimes? Just make strange noises?
I do, but not usually when I'm recording YouTube videos.
I'd say burping and farting kind of counts quite heavily. They're weirder noises than the old scrunch face.
What the fuck?
That's somebody on a contract is
Alright,
that's Minmus. Ignore that.
Right, so, I mean, we're flying through this like this.
I'm doing alright.
So, I want to get it to about 30,000, I think.
Tad more.
31,000.
We only just barely managed to touch down on the moon in pieces. We haven't touched down on Minmus, but we've done my flyby where we've got a lot of signs. So this will be first proper
This will be
extraterrestrial touchdown.
It will be.
Nice. I mean, obviously in previous series we've been here before, but that was a good eclipse. But yeah, this will be nice. This will be a momentous occasion.
It will be. I hadn't appreciated that. I've been playing a lot of my own personal save over the last week or so. So I've kind of forgotten that.
First time we touched down on a foreign body, we were drunk.
I mean,
it's one to chalk up for experience.
It is. I'm going to have another drink.
Nice.
And now I'll forward the time a little bit.
I need to get a quiet electric fag for recording purposes. That one's incredibly loud. Right. Here we go. Things are happening.
Things are happening. Look, things.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes. Yeah, accelerating.
No, I'm not decelerating.
Oh yes, you are.
Calm your tits.
I panicked.
Don't worry, I thought that for a second. I'm really not in the right state to be piloting a rocket through the dark blackness of space.
It's not this bit that I'm worrying about. This is the lines on a map thing we're all right at now. It's the landing bit. Because I'll be honest, never been particularly good at the landing bit.
Cheers.
So
your faith in me is really appreciated.
Astronomical. Ha! Ha ha! Puns, live as that happened. But yes, let's be honest. It is the landing bit that usually goes belly up, and that bit's still to come.
Well, to be fair, the reason of that is that there's a solid thing that you can blow up on. This sort of stuff in space, you can't really do that.
Yeah, this is true. But the task at hand is to touch down on the big green thing.
On the big green minty thing.
In one piece, do the secret thing, and then come home.
Do the secret thing and then come home. I can do that. Let's add another. Oh, hang on. Let's get rid of that maneuver first. Add another maneuver node. I'm gonna get the periaps down to 30,000 on the other side. Remember that Aerosmith song? Take me to the other side.
I do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking you to the other side.
They also sang the theme tune for Armageddon, if you remember rightly.
They did, yeah. I think it's contractually written in that every movie that Liv Tyler has to do, Aerosmith has to do
sing
the
the song
for.
He's like the Dennis Waterman of Hollywood.
Which is why all those beautiful instrumental pieces on The Lord of the Rings were actually all Steve Tyler. They had
just doing it with his vocal cords.
Those 200-piece orchestras had to be recorded on 200 separate tracks, all of which were played by Steve Tyler.
Nice. Liv Tyler, you don't see her very often anymore. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, she did a lot of films. One Night at McCool's, that was a terrible film, but you saw her quite a bit in that. That was good.
That's because when Steven Tyler invented her in his laboratory, the DNA was unstable, so she only really had a filmable shelf life of around about 5-10 years.
Oh. Well, that's a crying shame.
I mean, I presume she's a laboratory creation. There's no way that Liv Tyler could have come from the loins of Steve Tyler.
I never saw his partner.
I never saw his partner, but she must be the most smoking woman in the world.
Exactly.
If she can bypass Steve Tyler's natural makeup.
And create a Liv Tyler. Oh dear. This is getting far too base. This is about science. Right, that's coming down quite a...
It is coming down.
Right.
That's what it does. Let's hold the retrograde, please.
Nice. Good use of the button. Always forget they're a thing now.
And they're a really handy thing as well.
Yeah. The Kerbals actually naturally are quite good at the old autopilot stick.
Fucking a lot better than me, mate.
Exactly. Certainly now. They must come in quite handy for landing. Is that right? Is that a thing?
I don't use them for landing.
Oh. I bet they are.
But they are as well.
I'm not going to find out here.
Okay,
clearly.
so here we are coming in for the landing. That's
that's a nice bit.
It's a little bit in the darkness, but it's probably the best landing site that we're going to come for.
Big. Oh, there was a lovely eclipse going on there in the background. Other side. Look. Oh no, hang on.
Well, it's the way it fades out like that.
No, turn slightly. Look where Merg is. Look what's going on there. Look, there's a big. Oh no, hang on.
What the hell are you jibber-jabbering on about?
Look, just to the left of the sun.
You're pointing at the screen.
I'm explaining as I do it. To the left of the sun, it looks the line of Merg's orbit makes it look as though we've got a beautiful solar eclipse going on. See, look, the white line looks like light coming out from behind the planet. It confused us.
Okay. It was just you were pointing at the screen, and I felt I needed to remind you that people can't see you pointing at the screen.
I know. I'm a very gesticulatory person. This is what I do. I flail my hands around. Right. Yeah.
I got 7-second burn. Get that down. Nicey.
Straight on the green ice.
Just going to get us pointed towards that manoeuvre node, which seems to be in a really odd place.
Corbo is mortified.
It's supposed to be... Corbo knows what's coming.
Jeb is ecstatic. He also knows what's coming.
Yeah, it's alright for Jeb. It's Corbo that's got to worry.
Yeah. If anything, Corbo effectively is a convict. He's been caught killing a bunch of people in Dishonored.
Yep.
Yes. This is his punishment.
Rail against the establishment, this is what you get. No fanfare, no load, no happy ending.
Get to the other planet.
All hail Cavern.
Oh dear.
Don't get me fucking started on the budget.
No, we're not going there. If you're not aware, it was the summer budget for the UK yesterday, and it wasn't.
No, it
good.
wasn't.
It was.
It was Wednesday.
It was yesterday, wasn't it?
No, it was Wednesday.
I forgot. When I was at the conference, I forgot that day was a thing. You know, when you're working so hard, you're sort of stuck in work days. So when you have a day where you're not at work, you forget that was a day.
Yeah.
That's what's just happened there.
We're coming in for landing now, which means I'm going to have to be on my game.
On the spot. Okay.
So I need to rotate the ship. Don't ask me why I need to rotate the ship. I need to have the nav ball and my controls relative to each other.
Yep, that makes sense.
So that I can navigate both using the nav.
You nearly turned into Sean Connery.
I can navigate both using the nav ball and using the view of the ship with the same controls.
Use your nav ball.
So that if I pull back, it pulls back on the ship and pulls back on the nav ball at the same time. You get what I mean? You feel me, blood?
You should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. I can't do a Sean Connery to save my life.
But I wasn't doing a Sean Connery. I was just slurring from drunkenness.
It's very similar things, let's be honest. While we're in the process of single-handedly destroying the small reputation on YouTube we've built up by talking about politics, race and Sean Connery in one thing.
Shall I time warp? Would that be a good idea?
I'll tell you what you can do.
What's that?
Put the legs out.
Put the legs out.
Go on.
I'll have to stop time warp for that.
It's been a long time since we've done that.
Almost forgot about the legs.
It's been so long since we needed them.
Well, we're safely on the flats now, so I can kill the horizontal velocity.
Do what you gotta.
Because you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh shit, we'll get sued by South Park.
Was that a South Park thing, was it? I'm a little bit out of touch with South Park. Only catch the odd one.
Yeah, it was a while ago. They did an episode about High School Musical.
Oh. That's a program that I don't watch.
I love South Park. It's great. South Park's gone from strength to strength.
I like it when I watch it, but it's South Park which I catch maybe one every 2 or 3 months, referencing a program
I was
never
pretty
seen.
sure we were coming down on the flats, but it doesn't look like we are.
It looks as though what you've done here is put down on the small slope in a massive ocean of flat.
It does, doesn't it? It looks.
Look, it's okay. We're gonna drift. Probably. That properly looks like a cock and balls.
It's alright, I'll just push you out a little bit.
The legs look like pubes.
The legs look like pubes. It's very phallic, isn't it?
It's
highlighted against the sun.
It's embarrassingly phallic, that one. I'll be honest.
And the next stage squirts the jism from the top.
That's just offensive on every conceivable level. We're going to end up with an 18+ certificate on our channel in no time. Should have a long time ago, honestly. But we definitely will now if the YouTube police come along and see this one.
The YouTube police?
Yeah.
Oh, is there such a thing?
If you're a child, you shouldn't be watching this, and you shouldn't have heard that, and you certainly shouldn't repeat that in front of adults and say that we said that and that's where you got it from.
Ask your mum what jism means.
Shut the fuck up, you!
Shut the what up?
That's it.
Yeah, we're definitely coming down on that hill, aren't we?
If a grown-up says something you don't like, as is Ewok has just done here, that's what you say to them, and then you run away and you go and tell a policeman. Tell the police.
Call your mum a jism monkey.
Certainly don't do that either. Right, we're going to have to be very quiet here.
Why's that?
Because it's very wrong. This is bad YouTube, is what we're doing here. Bad YouTube. Don't like bad YouTube. Should be doing good YouTube. Don't make it look even worse with your tilt.
Look, I'm just pushing a little bit further away from the mountain there, which is not a good thing to be landing on.
Oh, that's alright. We'll miss it by miles.
So I'm looking at our radar altitude there just to make sure we don't pop up too much. These are the Minmus salt flats, and I think they tend to be at around about 0.
Yeah.
In terms of sea level. I'm going to nip back in on the 10,000.
Well, it's effectively a frozen sea on Minmus is what it's meant to be, I think. Just looking at it, I'd guess that's the thing it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know why I called them the salt flats. It's probably because we were talking about land speed records earlier today.
We were talking about one of the...
They tend to do them on the salt flats.
Yeah, because we were talking about one of the future things that the KSP developers have been talking about in the next update is lots of stuff about wheels.
And we were wondering why are wheels such a big deal?
Yeah, you know,
does it mean something more?
Exactly, the relationship between space programs and then doing things like land speed records, you know, in terms of aerodynamics, in terms of engines, in terms of stress factors, kind of ties in quite nicely. So maybe it makes sense that some of the contracts in the future might be you've got to be at ground level and doing, you know, 800 meters a second and surviving. Is that going to be a thing?
You may have noticed that I've ditched the mouse now, Gonzo.
Okay. I would like to touch it to get good camera angles, but I appreciate you need that for relativity for your controls.
I need that camera angle for relativity, absolutely.
So still a lot of fuel going on here.
We're still above 3,000. Right, yeah. We are going to hit 0 at around 0 on the old.
That's nice and handy. Yeah. Straightforward. Considering you forgot what half of 16 was earlier, that's probably a good job.
Well, that I can work out what 3,000 minus 3,000 is.
Yep.
That helps.
It certainly does. So, just nicely coming down. And of course, Minmus, since we haven't been here before, to reiterate, if you haven't been to Minmus before, if anything, you should aim for this place before you go to the moon, because there's so little gravity here, even less than you get on the moon.
It's actually, I
really
find that you actually get away from a Minmus mission with slightly more fuel than you would have done if you did the equivalent Mun mission.
Yeah, it takes less to get away. And you've got these further away, and
you've got these lovely flats to land on.
Aye,
which you don't get on the Mun.
I think it's just most people in their head, they think about Earth, and you think about like Earth-based, like reality-based space programs. So you want something grey and dusty to land.
Never mind space programs. You're just thinking very human terms, and the closest place is easier to get to, and it's not the case.
Yeah, here I think the thing that put me off early days was the fact that there is this inclination change. And that really confused us when I first started playing, you know, a good couple of years ago. Really threw us. But no, I'm well impressed, mate, because I haven't put anywhere near as much time into KSP since it hit 1.0 as I wanted to. Just been flat out at work. I haven't had a chance for months to sit down and do proper gaming. I've just been playing little daft, like, casual games and stuff I can just jump into for an hour here and there. So I really haven't, and I'm really struggling even myself still to get, like, a decent orbit. You know, and get out with decent, a decent distance from the planet. Never mind trying to go towards anything else.
But here we are in GSP.
It's nice to see. It's been a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this series of Geordie Space Program, since 1.0 hit and the game became a technically finished product, we are about to land on Minmus.
We're going somewhere.
He says, hoping and praying that he's not going to somehow fuck this up.
It's looking alright. I can see a tapping on the RCS there as well. Is that just or is that the ship doing that to try and keep itself level?
That's just as I adjust the angle, I'll be tapping on the RCS when we hit the ground.
Aye, plant way. Just like that.
Just like that.
The RCS works a treat. I've never done that before for a landing. Alright,
right.
Second time in 2 episodes.
unlock the stages.
Before, second time in 2 episodes, high five.
High five. Boom.
Look at that, they'll fly for miles.
Right. So the reason that we've got 2 command pods on this in that odd way is that we're going to leave one behind. Corbo is going to become a permanent resident of Minmus.
Yeah.
The command pod that he has features a thermometer. And there we go, on the top that's a communicator. If we ever get a mission that says send us data from the surface of Minmus or plant a flag on Minmus, Corbo's on hand, he's going to be able to do that. It's also got RCS on it and some thrusters. Why is that, mate?
Because this is going to happen.
Let's hope I can do this.
Jeb's in there.
Yeah, Jeb's supposed to be in there because he's a pilot. We need a pilot to keep it stable so we can land it. And then they swap over.
This is the most technically advanced thing we've ever done. Look at that shit. There's a rocket, and then it's detached a bit, and the bit that's came off the rocket's done a thing as well. Look at that. Yeah, boy! Look at that! That's brilliant. We now have a Minmus base.
It's not a very good base, but it's a base.
Balls to it. It's got science and it's got a transmitter. That's a base. Go on, have a job.
Look at Jeb.
We haven't got a surface sample.
And we can't get surface samples at the minute. We haven't unlocked the ability to do that.
Get an EVA report though.
We can, but we'll get Corvo out first.
Right.
So,
on Minmus.
On Minmus, 125 science.
Sweet science action.
Oh god, I didn't bring any goo canisters on this. Oh, there we go. We'll be in there.
There we are. That's nice.
Observes a mystery goo.
50.
One of them. We'll have another one. Why not?
Nice.
Thermometer and barometer.
Aye. 40. 60. Jesus.
Right, let's get Corvo out. Now, Corvo's got some work to do before he goes into his new permanent base. In that he's got to reset these experiments and drop the information into the cockpit.
Go on, Corvo. Don't be daft.
Whoa!
Corvo!
Okay, that was a bit of a crazy glitch.
Corvo.
Please come down.
You will eventually.
Yeah, but will he come down alive? Shit, mate. What happened there?
I hope you haven't killed Corvo.
But seriously?
Yeah, I know.
There's no way that should have happened.
He sort of scraped across the side of the craft and then went 124 metres into the air. He's coming back down. There we are.
Yeah, but he's 124 metres in the air and spinning out of control. Would you like to fall 100 metres?
Certainly wouldn't. In zero gravity, though? Might be... Oh, that looks fast.
It does look pretty fast.
You've got no control over him.
Yeah, I'm trying to get his thrusters online, but it's not working.
It looks dead.
Come on, land on your helmet, land on your helmet. Ooh.
He's bounced. That was horrific. He looks ecstatic. Slightly bong-eyed. He's up. Right.
I'm going to do a quick save just in case that happens again, because that's clearly a glitch.
That was a bad thing. Okay. 124 metre high cartwheel. Don't see them every day.
That's interesting. There's obviously something on the ship he's clipping against that's causing a problem.
That's somehow...
So let's try and back off a little.
Right.
What do you think that was? Do you think it was the science bit?
It looked as though it was something to do with the solar panel.
Luckily he didn't spin out this time, so I'm under control.
It's sort of like he bounced off. I'm sure that was the solar panel just as he rubbed up the side. It's just kind of like maybe the physicists went, what's going on here? And flung him off.
Okay, we'll try and avoid the solar panel.
We might just have to leave this. Can you get it? That was a very strange thing that just occurred. Now he's going down at quite a rate.
Yeah, I think you're right. Looks like it was the solar panels.
Aye. Okay, there we go. That's a... Now he's slightly unconscious.
It's alright, it's just a little fall.
Slithering his way down the rocket. Cool, pack up. Very, very odd.
We're nearly done, we're nearly done.
Aye, still got the home leg to go.
Oh, hang on.
You ragdolled like a mofo there.
Reset that experiment, please.
Nice. Keep smacking his head off the service bays.
Did I just do it again? Repeat the experiment?
I think you did.
This is a lot harder than it should be.
I've got a good idea why that's the case.
Gonzo is drinking beer now.
Right, we've got it. It's restored.
Is it restored?
Yes. No. Oh, for God's sake. Kerbal, you're meant to be super slick, stealthy assassin. You can't even shut a door.
Right, it's operational again. Sound.
Right. Do we need to just put him in the Minmus base?
We need to pick up this stuff.
Cool. Doing the old Kerbal dance. It's like the safety dance, but not safe.
And then pop them back in the command pod to drop the experiments off. He's fallen again.
Yeah. Oof.
He's shooting up again.
But luckily the service base stopped them.
He's nearly done. He's nearly done.
Yeah, sorry ladies and gents, but this is it's what happens every now and again. Can be a little bit tricky.
It's because there's 2 of the goo reports, I think.
Yeah, hopefully that's all it is. Right, put them in the base, such as it is.
It's not a very impressive base, but it's a base. Oh, hang on, we've got a mission to plant a flag, haven't we?
We do. Well remembered. But we should do that anyway. It's first time we've touched down somewhere. There we are. Get a look at that. Get a close up on the flag.
Ooh, it's Minmus base, isn't it?
Aye,
With a capital B.
clearly.
A close up of that black flag.
No, that's fine. It's good enough. Nice and close there as he climbs on board. He's in one piece. He has jumped cumulatively probably about 200 metres there.
And you take the EVA port. Jeb.
Jeff Kerman.
Jeff Kerr.
Aye, he's slightly special, brother.
Alright, so we're just about ready to take off.
See
and
the
go back
planet,
home.
look. We know where we want to go back. See the moon in the distance there, just over the hills. A little bit higher than that, the planet. Loving it.
See, this was good, wasn't it?
I'm impressed.
That's okay.
Twice in a row I've been impressed here. Right, shut the service bay. First things first, close the doors.
What's with the staging?
It's weird.
It's obviously, it's fucked up because...
You don't want those both together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up because we detached part of the craft and it doesn't know what to make of it.
Yeah. Nice. See ya. Well, we won't see you, Kerbal. We'll probably hear from you shouting on the radio. Now, the planet's over to the right a bit.
That's okay, I just want to get a bit of an orbit first.
Okay.
Get a nice stable orbit before we come in.
And it's a hell of a plane that you're going up on.
I don't see what the problem is. Brah.
Well, I'm not saying there's much of a problem, it's just a bit of a weird one, that's all. Right. It's only a 4-second burn to do that once we hit the apoapsis.
Exactly. So we will try to walk the next maneuver if it lets me.
Aye, it's doing it.
Right, I can't wait anymore. I'm going to have to take a break. I really need the loo. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
I do as well.
Yeah, but I'm flying a rocket ship.
I just need to take a piss.
And we're back. Humblest apologies for the inconvenience.
Nice reference. Blackadder 2, episode 6.
Absolutely.
Hugh Laurie. Right, okay then, what are we doing next? Get the orbit, that's right.
Get the orbit. I'm going to
God.
use Jebby Boy's autopilot to hit the prograde.
Nice. That'll do it.
That'll do it nicely.
So,
Zoom out. Kerbin is there.
right over there.
You're right, this was ridiculous.
I thought of all the directions you could have picked from starting from like a flat thing, that was a bad one.
Yeah, it wasn't the best one.
But that's 3 seconds to get an escape from Minmus. Puts us back towards Kerbal.
Yeah, that puts us in a large-scale Kerbal orbit.
We've got all the fuel in the world to bring one side of that back down nicely.
We do. Take a look at the fuel situation.
Loads, oodles.
It's oodles and oodles of fuel.
This is great. We've got something at least we know can get with a Minmus. If it can get with a Minmus, it'll take slightly more for the moon, but it would do the moon as well. That's good. This is where we need to be. Of course, now we're slowly starting to approach the next stage up, which is space stations. Although, given performance of last episode, I'm feeling quite confident we could do something. We could put a space station up, probably just into an orbit around the planet, but we could do that. But then, of course, the thing that's really concerning us is then we're starting to think about interplanetary.
Yeah, and interplanetary is going to be an interesting one.
We struggled with that even under the old system, never mind the new.
Whoa.
But we have got resources where we can refuel now if we know where we're landing. We can do that. I think it's further down the tech tree, but
it exists.
Doable. I mean,
it's a thing.
Yeah, we could potentially go to Juno. We could find where there's fuel in Juno, land, do the fuel thing, and get enough to come back home. In principle, I mean, I haven't really looked into that. I've built things and I've mined fuel from Kerbal Space Command for no apparent reason, just because you can.
I've not.
Because they're new bits. Just build something, drive it off the runway. There's fuel at Kerbal Space. I assume the fuel tanks under the facility.
But there's other things. There's like doing scans of planets. I've never done that. I wouldn't know where to start. I'm really going to have to do my homework.
Get into an orbit, and then depending on the scanner, you just point them towards the planet. And as it's drifting around it, it's.
But does that give you like landing zones or?
No, that's telling you where the fuel is basically. I think like.
But where is the fuel? Is that a landing zone? Do you have to land somewhere specifically to get the fuel?
It's on the planet, so you've got to scan the planet and know where the fuel deposits are, and then land on the fuel deposits, and then get the fuel.
So how does it show you where the fuel deposits are?
I don't know. In the mod, it used to like break down the planet into like hexagons, and the hexagons would light up. They would tell you where stuff was. In the new system, I don't know, and I haven't really looked at the tutorials. I know Scott Manley's done like, I think 30 parts since the new one came out, which covers just about every aspect of what you might want to do. Certainly early days, and the last one he's just put up, be a couple of weeks old by the time this recording goes up. But that was about collecting fuel and resources. However, I haven't watched it yet. My plan after we've done recording for the night is I'm going to drink some food, I'm going to drink some beer, I'm going to order some food, and I'm going to watch it and find out what's going on. You know, it's good bath time viewing through the old iPad. I
suppose it might be useful if I were to do something like that.
Well, to be fair, you have done a lot of research, you've done your book reading, you've checked up on the internet, you know what the O-birth effect is. I was well impressed with that last week. That was a good thing. Jimmy O-birth.
Jimmy O-birth, good old Jimmy O-birth, inventor of the O-birth effect. It didn't exist before him.
You talk with things about the plane changes and normal. You're calling them normal and anti-normal. We've never used those terms before. That frightened us a little bit. Didn't know quite what that meant. But yes, all of these things. Well, actually, hopefully people are getting the impression we're not quite evolved yet. It's starting though. Very early stages. It's like in 2001 with the obelisk. We're monkeys rubbing a big obelisk.
I'm having real trouble getting the kind of entry point that I want.
Do you want that slightly higher?
I know what I need to do. It's because it's adjusting too much. What I need to do is limit the thrust on this. So that I can really make that fine adjustment.
That's not something we've done before either, intentionally. We've limited the thrust by accident before. Yeah, that's good.
That's the business.
The biz.
Right, we are ready to return to Kerbal.
Nice.
I think. Could still all go wrong.
Whoop them back.
We've already completed one of the contracts though, which was to plant a flag on Minmus.
Yep, planet's getting bigger. When the planet's getting bigger, things are going sort of according to plan. There goes the moon.
Just spinning around there. It's loving it. The moon is loving it.
The moon always loves it.
Dirty bitch.
You've seen the Mighty Boosh. You know what the moon's like.
We're going to be coming in quite fast here. Are you prepared? Are you worried?
Bring the legs in.
Or just in case they... Why do you want to bring the legs in?
Just...
You realise it's not landing with legs.
Yeah, but we don't want to cut through the atmosphere with legs.
Well, we're getting rid of the legs.
Oh. Well, you don't want to leave space junk with loose legs. Loose legs sink ships.
But if we leave the legs out, maybe it'll land.
I seriously doubt that.
I seriously doubt it as well.
Nah.
So let's bring it down to around about 70,000 and then start our gravity burn. With me coming in about 32,000 meters. I'm hoping that we'll land on one pass. It may take us 2 passes.
Aye. That might be a concern if we haven't got radiators.
Nah, it'll be fine. Shall I get rid of the bottom end before it explodes and kills
Yeah,
us?
the legs are getting warm. Oh, I don't like the look of that.
Yeah, we're going to go straight into it now.
Yeah, that was really, really bad.
Yeah, that was a silly idea, Gonzo. I don't know what you were thinking.
That's going to slow down quicker than us because it's bigger and wider.
Yeah, but it'll go higher than us because of that. See? Physics.
Looked a bit like Moonraker. Just when you got the angle of the two things burning.
Wouldn't it be awful if that came in too steep and it's going to kill us?
That would be tragic. Hang
After
on.
all that.
I wasn't singing Moonraker there. What was that? Was that 999? With
Do it again?
featuring Michael Berg? Nah. No, it was it was bloody Mastermind. Yeah, that's Mastermind.
Yeah, that is Mastermind. That's not the same program.
It's not the same program.
In fact, Moonraker wasn't a program. It was a movie.
It was a film. It wasn't Moonraker the film. No.
Are we back to Sean Connery? Oh, no,
No,
Moonraker
it's
was Roger.
Roger
Roger, good old Roger.
The best Bond.
The
I
best.
think you'll find.
No, Sean Connery was the best Bond.
No, he wasn't.
Roger Moore. The only thing Roger Moore had going from was the eyebrow, and I'm sorry, but an eyebrow isn't enough to make James Bond.
Eyebrow trumps everything.
Yeah, but Roger Moore did boat trip.
James Bond should have an eyebrow.
I'm a little worried about this, but yeah, Roger Moore did boat trip, and that invalidates any cool points that he might have had.
No.
Have you seen Boat Trip?
No.
Watch Boat Trip and then tell me that Roger Moore is the best Bond.
I'm not watching Boat Trip.
Why not?
I've seen. What's all that heat thing? What's that doing? What does that mean? Is that the ablator?
I've got no idea what it is.
I'd assume every time it does that.
Look,
Oh, it's stopped now.
don't worry about it. It's all fine. We're slowing down nicely. We're good.
We came in at a whopping great speed there.
We did.
That was very fast. Yeah, we're definitely. Providing we don't explode, we are definitely coming in.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's doing it. This is the way space is meant to work. I wonder what that heat signature is. Do you think that is the heat shield saying it's a bit warm?
No, it's the solar panels actually. I'm surprised that they didn't just evaporate.
Just one
because
random
they usually
one.
do. So I'm surprised the solar panels have actually survived re-entry. In fact, I think whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're back. Yeah, solar panels don't usually survive re-entry in my experience, but that was, of course, the pre-1.04 days and the pre-1.03 days.
Yeah, all those little pixels all flying off into the stratosphere.
Hey, I think we've done good here.
That wasn't bad, actually, considering we did effectively handicap ourselves before we started.
We're actually going up now, but
In the grand scheme of things, it still is going to be down.
in the grand scheme of things, it's down.
Yeah.
Jeb looks happy. Jeb looks good. We left Corvo on the moon.
Yeah.
Minmus even.
Intentionally as well.
Intentionally, yeah.
In one piece with working technology. It's 2 episodes where you've burped very loudly. Alright, I have a go on the electric fag, why not?
I told you, I haven't got herpes, it's fine.
But I do. That's the thing you've got to be concerned about.
Okay.
I don't have herpes.
That's not true. Yeah, I saw it on YouTube, so it must be true. Everything on YouTube is true.
It is?
I saw some fucking numpty post something on Facebook. Again, about something political. Actually, no, it was a conspiracy theorist who said, like, yeah, I heard about this on YouTube. Look at the videos. They're very convincing. Like,
We should do that with
Case
ours.
in point. Yeah, they don't just let anybody put a video on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, there's strict controls to stop absolute muppets posting things.
When I
on
think
YouTube.
about all the hoops that we had to jump through to get our videos here.
I had to do the obstacle course, had to do the written test,
I
had to do the wee sample, which I failed 4 times.
I had to suck off the chief executive of YouTube, Steve YouTube.
Steve YouTube. He's friends with Jimmy Orbit, I think you'll find. Oh dear. We're coming down again.
Yeah, we are. I'm actually time warping, which is probably a risky
It's a
thing.
very silly thing to be doing. Because, I mean, we've been on fire for what feels like hours. I haven't even used a quarter of the ablator yet. That's pretty good going.
Oh, I'm losing control.
Well,
Abort
slow it down.
the time warp.
Something's
Abort the
getting
time
warm.
warp.
Something is getting warm.
Abort the time warp. Let's do the time warp again. What?
You sued.
Oh.
That was nearly 5 seconds worth of the time warp. I think you'll find that the Rocky Horror Picture Show do in fact sue anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
And I thought Richard O'Brien was cool.
I made that up. He seems like a lovely fella.
He does. He was at the Oxford Union once. I saw him there. He was wearing a cape. Very stylish man.
That seems like a very Richard O'Brien thing to do. Oh, I'm going to a student union, better get the cape on. And I don't mean the baby chicken. Right, we're cooling down. That's a good sign.
We're cooling down. We're just waiting until we hit that smooth 250 metres a second before we deploy the shoots of power.
That's not going to take very long.
No,
with how quickly that shiznit's coming down.
Did you know that parachutes deploy at 1,000 metres now and not 500 metres?
Why is that?
If you set your parachutes to deploy at 500 metres now, you will crash into the face of the planet.
Oh, so you'll not slow down in time.
Yeah, the slowdown's a little bit more gradual now, but if you're coming in quick and you hit your parachutes at 500 metres, ain't enough time.
No, that's quite nice. You see, bar them. I don't know what the Kerbal equivalent of the Milky Way is, but it's there.
Reset the experiment.
I would assume we're coming down in grasslands,
which I believe we've done.
We've done to death.
Oh, electric charge draining.
Dark side of the planet. It don't matter. It's alright. We'll be dead in the water. The parachute's out.
The parachutes are out and proud.
Indeed. Jabe's just having a good look. He'll be able to see absolutely nought through his little view screen. Be pitch black. Oh, that's better than I was expecting he would have.
Well, there you go.
Down he comes. Where are we?
This has probably been the best mission so far. We just went in, we did it, we came back, we're drunk and we still did it.
I like the bit where the thing came off the rocket and landed on Minmus. That was good.
That was new. That was like a new feature.
That was like something you would expect to see happen in a proper.
That was like the way that it kind of went up and then it just EVA'd itself casually down.
And just drops down next to it, and then they do the old switcheroo.
Aye, bit the old RCS, get it down. You try and do that with a scientist in that actual pod, and it's very messy because they can't keep it level.
And we're down. It's pretty good going. And we're in the grasslands.
1.6 science, hey, it's worth it. It's an extra one. That's still got one in there. That was intentional because the bacon only held one. That gives you nothing. Crew report for absolutely nothing. EVA. Hey, 5.6.
Cool. Right,
recover the vessel for a grand total of 371.3 science.
Nice.
Which we can't spend.
No.
And we've got 489, which is enough to upgrade that, but not give us enough left over to do another mission.
Yeah.
Of course, we've completed surface data from the science of Minmus. We've completed plant flag on Minmus. If we pop into there, and we're really lucky.
Temperature scans and that's when you're flying over.
That's when you're flying around. But one day it'll appear there and it'll say plant a flag on Minmus or science data from the surface of Minmus, much like the missions that we've just done, which netted us 300,000 in total.
Aye.
They pop up again. Bam, 300,000 instant.
Like it. So at some point we need to do this with the moon.
Absolutely, yeah.
But probably not next episode though, because we have just done this.
Yeah, it's probably a bit too similar. But we also need to get satellites around Kerbal, the Moon, and Minmus again for when those missions come up, saying give us the science data from around these bodies.
You know what we're doing here? We're building the infrastructure of
a space program,
of the Geordie Space Program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually looking quite good. That's nice.
Well, I wrapped up last time. Do you want to wrap up this time?
I certainly will. Okay then, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully R&N Slightly Drunken Banter hasn't annoyed you to the point where you stop watching, although I'm sure about 95% of you did. If you've enjoyed the video, you can always hit like. That helps us a great deal. If you haven't already, you can subscribe. If you want to check for us outside of YouTube, you can find us across on Facebook if you search for GonzoEwok, or you can find us on @GonzoEwok on Twitter. Drop us an email sometime, tell us how much you love the series or how. And before I get fucking cut off again for saying all the good things, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Please do what you've got to do when you're enjoying stuff on YouTube, and we shall see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.